speaking of on the like work mentality, I was trying to recall, because we're old now. We're old as fuck. So we are jaded to the workforce. Do you remember what it felt like to start like your first couple of jobs, or like you started a fresh new job when you're younger, like you're still relatively unacquainted with like the working environment, where you feel so much pressure to like, I gotta show up every day, and you know, I gotta give like my 110% best, or like oh
my god,
Jesus, bro pulled up.
This guy just watched.
You got it covered. As a younger guy, you're like more gung-ho about like work and stuff like that. Now that I've gotten older, like I really have turned into the man, I don't fucking care. I show up, they pay me, like
that's
whatever.
What I'm saying, and I've kind of adapted that mentality as I've gotten older. Because here's the thing that I feel like everybody should kind of adopt some sort of aspect of what I'm about to say, but it ends for everybody one day. Why be so concerned with the way this thing's going to turn out or the way it's not going to turn out? Just really have the mentality of everything's going to work out in the end. You know, you figured something out in life up to this point, right? Whether things have gone south for you before or they've gone great, you've figured it out all the way up to the current point you're at right now in life. Don't you think you'll figure it out yet again if something were to go wrong or something were to go right? Just have this mentality of like, no matter what happens, I'll figure it out and I'll be all right. And I'm telling you, you're going to have a much more more positive look on what you're doing, whether it be in a relationship or your work, and you're going to have more confidence in what you're doing. And you're not going to be so stressed and so anxious, because you're not going to be so scared of losing that thing. The fear really ruins, like fear is the mind killer, right? It's like Dune. That's what they say in Dune, is fear is the mind killer. It's so true though. It ruins every aspect of your life. It makes you feel insecure. You don't feel confident. You don't have a clear mind when you're thinking about shit, when you're fearful.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just don't be fearful. Just be confident in knowing you will figure it out. And a lot of that fear will go away. It's not like you're permanently killing fear. You know, you'll always be somewhat fearful throughout life, but I'm just saying in general, you're going to be a lot less fearful because you're not going to be scared of losing whatever it is you have, you know? Just look at it of like everything that you've achieved and garnered in life up to this point has been a gift, but it can be taken away just as quickly as you've earned it. And even when you didn't have it before, you were doing fine throughout life when you didn't have that job or you didn't have that girl. So know that you'll be just as fine if you lose that job or if you lose that girl. It's going to suck. It doesn't mean you have to fucking accept it and with a smile on your face if it happens, but it just means that you'll figure it out. It's all part of life, you know?
I think it's normal that
I know this is a huge fucking tangent about life, but...
Nah, I mean, fuck it.
I'm just saying, like, unfortunately, you know, it all kind of ties back to that story you were saying with that guy, though, because it's like there are a lot of people out there, unfortunately, that have that guy's kind of mentality and insecurity, and even I was a victim of it too when I was younger. I think I'm gonna go down here. I think I'm missing something down here. So like I think the thing that, and honestly, with that mentality I have, I think does come with age. But if, you know, young men and women out there could learn anything from this, I hope it's that, you know, and I hope they learn it at a younger age than I did, because I'm telling you, your life's going to be a lot more fulfilling and potentially successful if you have that, if you adopt that mentality.
So like, I think it's normal that like people look to like other people as like strong, that have like the disposition of like always looking ahead, like no matter what hardships are in their way at the time, you know. That could be like many different things, you know. Someone that keeps their like head leveled and their head held high and is always just looking forward to the next chapter, like there's a lot of respect for people like that. But on the back of that, I did have a thought, my brain
before the story you told me.
No, in between what you were saying and what I just said, it was like God, I hate being the way I am.
I kind of want to throw another thing in there too. That
Go for it. Maybe
just to kind of add on to that.
Jog my memory.
Where it's like, I think that's also like why I'm so content with just being like not in a relationship where I'm at in my life right now, is because I'm viewing it more like when the right person comes along that I think will be a good accessory to my life.
Sure.
Then I will be way more open to being in a relationship, as opposed to people that just feel like I have to be in a relationship because society says I have to be in a relationship, are the ones that end up in relationships that are fucking miserable with people they're not compatible with at all.
You did seemingly jog my memory without intending to.
Nice.
So, like, how do I say it? Like, well, one, there's a point on that too. I'm gonna try to remember what I was gonna say, but like relating to that, like, I'll be honest, I have like a very negative disposition of like, I am also content in being not in a relationship, but for all the wrong reasons. Of like, I am of the mind that I do not have anything of significance to offer someone that is like so like, you know, a casual whatever relationship, sure, like it, like something that's not that deep, very surface level relationship, whatever, but like some, like to actually build something with someone, like you need something of value, like you need, like, you know, like a good income, or like, you know, the capacity to a good income is the big one. And
yeah,
like
I understand that.
I'm in a good enough place where I can scrape by, but like managing another person, and it's natural for a man to want to provide such a shelter of like a threshold of where, like, no matter what comes along, you'll be able to weather whatever is in front of you, and I simply cannot provide that for anyone more than myself. I can barely provide that for myself.
True, and but the couple things to note with that is that right now I think a lot of people are in your boat right now, and there's a lot of men out there that are currently in relationships that can't afford shit. So just keep in mind that I think even though, you know, men but also women can be shallow when it comes to that, where it's like, if he doesn't make this much money, you know, just keep in mind that, where the fuck is this goddamn fucking...
I love that you fall out of the car every time.
Okay, it's up there. Just keep in mind that, like, the person that you're truly looking for will not be looking specifically for those things when they decide to date you or not. They're gonna look beyond that and look at the person. At least the right person should, right?
Sure.
But I also understand the perspective where it's like, I want to be able to afford to go out on a date, just period. Or, you know, especially the early talking stages.
Oh yeah.
Of a
like, I'm so
it's
old
like,
school in that respect, where it's just like, I refuse to let the woman I'm taking out pay for anything on the first day, especially if I ask her out. You know, there's some gray area where it's like, well, what if I ask you out? I'm like, well, what if, bitch? I don't know.
Right, and I get that. Now, the flip side to that coin, the thing that I'm kind of struggling with right now is that currently in my situation, I could afford to go out on some dates and stuff like that. But the thing that I'm noticing on the flip side of that coin is like at my job, I probably shouldn't share this much, but I don't give a fuck, whatever. But at my job, I'm in a leadership role, right? Now, the thing that I'm worried about when it comes to, like, saying dating somebody at work, which is why I refuse to do it, is because it can be that shallow. Totally. People can be that shallow where all they see is the title, and then they see the dollar signs with it, and then now suddenly they're interested.
There's a body in front of you. Look down.
Oh yeah, perfect. And then suddenly that's all they see, right?
Sure.
So to the flip side of that, it's like, not to say I'm like rolling in money or anything like that. I'm not. I'm just saying that, like, if I were to continue on this path and make more money, right, and like get to a point where I actually do have money, then I'm starting to even see the early signs of that now. It's like the people with money worry about the opposite thing, where it's like, yeah, they can attract whoever they want, but does that person really like them for who they are, or do they only like them for the money?
Cody,
so it's
like, tell you something.
It's a slippery slope where you have to find the middle ground of it, right?
I love you for your money.
But you get what I'm saying, right?
Absolutely.
Like, it's like, you don't want to be so broke to where it hurts your pride to where you can't even go out on a date because you can't afford it, right?
I feel that.
Which I totally understand that, and I'm also somewhat in that situation too. But then there's also the other end of it too, where it's like, you have the money now, and now you're more concerned about this person taking advantage of you. And then now it's somewhat of a pride thing too, right? Because then once you have all of that and you're starting to achieve this thing, then you have this mentality of like, okay, am I going to really sacrifice it for some piece of ass, essentially, you know? Or do I really want to like be very picky about who I'm going to choose to be potentially my wife, especially if you're looking into it like this, the next person I'm going to date is to marry, right? Then you're going to be even more picky about who you choose to be with because you've built so much on your own that you're not going to settle for less, which I do think people should think that way. But
yeah, valid.
People need to have realistic expectations as well. You know, I think people have let social media kind of get into the way to where it's like, he needs to have this and this and this and this. And same with men. They're like, she needs to be this and this and this and this. And it's like, okay, like, I get the like having high expectations for yourself, but also be reasonable. No fucking human being is perfect, you know?
Sure.
Like, you got to have some sort of middle ground where you're not going to settle for somebody who's just going to rip you off and only wants you for your money. But, you know, you're not also, she doesn't have to be literally Sydney Sweeney. It's like, come on, guys. Like,
no, I'm actually
you
like,
get what I mean?
For my own taste, like, I'm super not picky. Like, there is, I definitely have a type. Like, my type is, you know, shorter than me. It doesn't have to be like by a ton. She could be like close to my height, and that's fine. I'm a sucker for dark hair and glasses. Couldn't tell you why. The chick I could be talking to does not have to be the hottest chick ever. Like, I realize I'm not the most like attractive dude ever, and like, why would I be thinking in my brain that it's like, yeah, of course I could bag a 10 out of 10. Fuck no. Like, why would you even want to? Because like, there's a certain super, like, yeah, are these chicks crazy hot and would it be awesome to have sex with them and then fucking like, oh yeah, I piped this bitch. Like, dude, there's been girls that I've, this sounds so corny to say, but there's been girls that I've had sex with that are like hotter than I am, and it's like, it's cool, but I'm just like, well, doesn't matter. Like, at the same time.
Yeah.
But like my last two, not even situations, because we never even like went out, but the last two girls I was like kind of hitting on, one was like, she was really adamant about like, oh, I don't want to date anyone at work. I still tried. I was like, oh, come on, like, just let me take you out sometime. Didn't go anywhere. I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna leave this one out to dry.
Yeah, and to be fair, like I was saying, can I shoot through this or? Huh?
You know, I can appreciate her disposition on that, because, like, you know, workplace relationships can be hard,
That's
especially
what I was going to say. To be fair,
if they end wrong.
I understand where she's coming from.
Sure.
I really do, because I'm kind of in the same boat, too, where I'm like, I don't want to date somebody from work.
I get that.
You know, even if I wasn't in a leadership position, I probably would still have that mentality, because it's like, what if it doesn't work out? Then you still have to see that person every fucking day at work, you know, and then the drama stirs around. Oh, did you hear they broke up and now she's fucking this other guy here? And
yeah.
Trust me, you don't want to get wrapped up in shit like that. It is best to just leave that kind of shit. Let your personal life be your personal life. Let your work life be your work life. Just trust me on that. I'm telling you.
No, I mean, I can definitely appreciate it. Like, I definitely like appreciated where she was coming from. I still tried in spite of that. But pretty much since I kind of like left that one out, like, we don't really talk anymore. Like, in passing a little bit, but then like the follow-up was,
get the fuck out of the way.
Ah, man, I won't even talk about the other one. That one's just like too weird to get into.
Okay, we could talk about that one in private if you want.
It's not that big a deal. It was like a really short situation. But my problem is that I need to go out to actually be able to meet people.
That's what I was going to say. That's the only downside, too, is that, like, the only real place you meet people is at work. Especially, like, I don't know where we're at. Is this a boar?
Maybe. Has it got tusks?
I don't know.
Kill it and find out.
I don't think so. Shouldn't it have fur? Oh,
it's
damn.
playing dead. He's like, he's trained on me.
Oh, no, you got me.
Oh, geez, heart attack.
Yeah. No, I think he's just a pig. Yeah.
Oh, wait, a pig.
But yeah, it's like, you know, so you're kind of forced to, and that's the other thing too, is then like if you go on some like dating apps, it's so skewered towards the woman, it's insane. And like you can't help but like understand why women have the mentality they do about people they date. Where it's like, if you had fucking 50 dudes swiping on you a day, you would also be like, yeah, I'm the shit. You know, and it's just so tailored more towards women than it is men. It's insane. And like, that's why I think it's just like, you know, you've got, and I won't say men aren't like this either, but you know, people are just so much more shallow these days because these dating apps and social media makes them shallow. It views everybody as just like an object and a piece of meat, you know?
Yeah,
unfortunately.
What I had, because like I had been off dating apps for some time now,
Yeah,
like
good for you.
maybe over
not-
a year, but you know, you don't meet people, so.
Yeah, and that's the only thing that's shitty. It's like, yeah. It's like people don't really go out anymore.
I had what I like to sum up is I call it pre-nut clarity, where like, you know, which is essentially I'm just ghosting these girls, and like, you know, we're in the flirting stage, like it's cute or whatever, like she sends me like some pictures or whatever, I'll like maybe send her one back or something like that. And it's not even my dick. I'm kidding. It's just a black dude's dick. But
like from the waist down, it's different.
But like it'll gear up to us like eventually going on our first date. And it's like I'll meet up wherever. Let's go get some food. Let's go out to a bar, or whatever. Right. But before we get to that point, like I'll have this like moment of clarity, like what am I doing? Like I don't need to be doing this. Like am I really in a situation where I can afford to be dating someone right now? It's pre-nut clarity. Like I don't even have sex with them, which is the saddest part first, I guess.
Well, and dude, like you're kind of making a point because like, yeah, I've been in the same exact situation with dating apps, and it just feels so like not natural.
Sure.
And like, that's why I get why people would want to date people they work with, because that feels more natural than meeting someone on a dating app, right? Because you've gotten to know this person. You see him every day. So you kind of like build these kind of like relationships with them, right? And that's why I get why people are like, oh, I want to date my coworker, because you build these relationships. But I'm just telling you, it's
good right now, but
right. Which to their point, yeah, that is a more natural way to get to know someone, you know?
Totally.
To where it doesn't feel like you're dating, you know? It just feels like you're hanging out, and then you just realize you're just hanging out all the time, and then you realize, okay, we're living together thing. That, like, in a perfect world, that would be how the situation arises. At least that's happened for me in the past with girls I've dated. It's just been more gradual, and then before you know it, you're living together.
Well, I don't know if my situation was exactly gradual for my last like major relationship. But, dude, honestly, like that relationship, like the start of it was on like fast forward, not to get into the details, but things moved like in retrospect so quickly.
Yeah.
Have you ever hooked up with a girl you never thought you'd hook up with?
Yes.
Okay. You don't have to go into detail on that. I was curious because
I have.
I have too, and you know her, so you know exactly who I'm talking about. Yeah.
No, I definitely have, and then. Yeah, it was kind of the next day thing where I was like, I can't believe that happened. I'm like, I don't know how the fuck that happened. Yeah. Yes, I have.
Right on. Well, like, what I was going to mention before, like, we started down this like pathway of conversation was like, it was a little bit about productivity, of like me for myself, at least in my eyes, because obviously there's a bias going on because. You know yourself, you know how productive you are or not, but in my eyes, like I'm one of the most productive people I know. It's hard to say from other people's point of view, like yours or any of my other friends, maybe Brad's not all that productive or whatever, but in my eyes, and I assume you feel the same way about yourself, we view ourselves as like getting shit done, you know? But that spawned from a Instagram reel that I saw that was talking about Dragon Ball Z. It was like, oh man, how cool would it be if like the hyperbolic time chamber existed in real life?
Yeah.
And I was like, because you know, you have all this time, you're able to get a year's worth of training done in a day. But it's like, oh, you know, haven't there been situations in your life where it was like crunch time down to the wire, like everything is stacked against you and you still managed to pull this shit off? So like, for instance, you got assigned an essay in school that is like a month out, and then you procrastinate till the very last minute, and then you finish in like 2 nights or something like that.
Yeah.
Or like, you know, hard to think of other examples, but like, you know, I'm sure there's been other instances of your life, like, oh, like...
where you do well under pressure.
Yeah, exactly. Where it's just like, there... it'd be so interesting if there was a way where you could like force yourself into this mental framework that is putting you under like a certain level of duress that makes you feel like, okay, like that now or never instinct, like we got to get this shit done. In a way, I like being in that frame of mind because like I said, in my mind, I'm a productive dude anyways, but if I could be more productive and more efficient about it, like that'd be fucking awesome.
Piece of shit. Yeah.
There's plenty of people in my life that I know that I'm like, you are so capable, but you just like don't do anything.
Yeah.
I would say I look at literally all my friends and I view them as like, all my friends are like naturally more talented than me, naturally like more inclined to like, so let's say if you and I pick up a game together and we both start at the same time, whatever, or maybe if even I had a leg up on you, your natural inclination to learn more about the game, like go out of your way seeking information about this game, you would become better at that game than me in like no time.
I don't know if that's true. I think it depends on the game.
So I get all my reps in.
Fucking goddamn! You as you were saying.
Damn, this bamboo's built a little different.
God, they're made out of
cinder block.
Yeah, dude.
They've been filling the bamboo with cinder. So like, I become proficient at whatever I do just by like sheer volume of doing it. So like, you know, all my friends are like, oh, like Brad, like you're a fantastic fighting game player. Like, dude, some fighting games I play, I'm at the upper 10% of the world. But it's simply because I've put in like the volume of practice. I've outside of playing, I've thought about these games so extensively and like these situations so extensively, and I'm absorbing information through osmosis by hearing about it from other creators that like my level's gotten very high. It's not that way with every games, but in every other subsequent game, so like League of Legends, like I showed a couple friends, Brandon being one of them, League of Legends, and I had been playing it for a little while before them, but their inclination to learn more about the game and learn builds and learn like tech by like searching maybe like a guide or like a proper build path for these characters or whatever, their information that they accumulate will have them surpass me, which is fine. You know, they're going out of their way, but I gain my ability just by sheer like experience, just by playing the game a bunch. Is there games that you've played that demand proficiency where you've learned one way or the other or both?
That's a good question. I would have to really give that some thought. I think just from pure proficiency, like no looking up or any research on it, I mean, probably Guitar Hero, you know? Just playing it over and over again, I got good at that, which in turn, you could say the same thing about guitar, because when I first started playing guitar, I didn't have the internet to my disposal, so I really just taught myself how to play the instrument, and so I became proficient in that regard as well. But I would say with something like looking it up to get better, I kind of was both proficient and then later on would like actually do research when it came to like Call of Duty, because then I would like look up like best ways to approach getting into a final circle and stuff like that when I was really heavy into like Warzone. I don't really do that now with like say like Red Set, because I have a general idea of how to play those games now and how to be smarter. You know, just because it's pretty much just like Warzone, so I already have like kind of tactics in my mind of like how to be better on like taking out teams. Like if you drop one of their friends, there's a good chance that guy's going to stop attacking you to revive him, which gives you the opportunity to fucking push, you know, rush him right now because he's going to be focused on reviving his friend. Like little tricks like that I looked up,
but also gained from experience
from playing it. So yeah, probably both those games, and I wouldn't even say I'm like fantastic at those games.
Okay, I get that. So like for me as a fighting game player, like Dragon Ball FighterZ was like purely putting in the reps. Like I have over 1,000 hours in that game, probably somewhere around like 1,500 give or take. And I was like, I always sum it up to either I was the best casual or the shittiest pro. And like I've fought pro players and content creators, and it was a lot of fun. But like for me, like part of the appeal when I'm trying to get better at a game or like a fighting game is like running really long sets. Is so it could be of any skill level. I prefer it if they're a bit better than me, or it could even be a lot better than me. And honestly, I tell this to everyone, and it's not a joke. Like, all right, pick whatever game. Like, it could be Guilty Gear, it could be Street Fighter, Tekken, literally whatever fighting game, Mortal Kombat, doesn't matter. And we're gonna run a first to 100. And like just by sheerly putting that volume of time in, and then like repeating these situations where it's like, all right, like you see Scorpion's like string, and it's like, all right, back 1 2 2, and like the first time you block that string, it's like, all right, is that plus, is that like minus, is it punishable, is there a low in that string? But by the 10th time, it's like, okay, I need to block that third hit low. And then when you block it for the 100th time, you know, it's like, okay, I can punish it with this move. I know every like bit of thing about like what's going on here, and it's just putting in that familiarity. But also like long sets are a lot of fun because you can like you pick up on your opponent's habits. And I've been coached casually, and I've coached players like casually as well, where like people are creatures of habit. So if they do something once in any game and it succeeds, they're probably going to do it again because you were rewarded by you got the hit, you're able to get a combo. So when that situation comes up again, it's like I told a player I was teaching Guilty Gear, I was like, all right, you're going to knock him full screen, and then the first thing they're going to do is air dash at you twice and then try to hit you. So the next time they do that, look out for that. And he knocked him full screen, did the same exact thing. It's like, how'd you know that would happen? It's like, because it worked the first time.
Right.
And it's that positive reinforcement. But also, like, when players are brand new, they're like, the stereotype is like new players jump a lot. Like a Street Fighter, they're just jumping constantly. And you have to disincentivize them from jumping, because at a beginner level, jumping is very good because it's your easiest, highest reward to damage. But you start anti-airing it, and anti-airing it consistently, and you start to cut off that option from a player.
Okay.
But there are players that don't know how to do anything else. So once you anti-air them and anti-air them consistently, you can just tell they have no idea what the fuck they're
like,
doing.
I don't know.
It's
I didn't think I'd get
actually
this far.
realize now that I don't know how to play the game, but I love that stuff because it's like so thought-provoking.
Yeah, 100%. Well, I feel like this is a good place to stop for now. I feel like we got a good amount. What do you think?
I think that is a-okay by me, partner.
We got rid of all the outposts up here. We've leveled up our weapon holsters. We can have 3 weapons. We've upgraded our wallet, our inventory slots as well. Did a little bit of main missions.
Okay,
so
we upgraded our wallet, so we should be able to attract a lot of women now.
this is true.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But yeah,
I'll just say nice work, dude. Way to carry the gameplay side of things. I appreciate you. And yeah, if you guys want to see us come back for more Far Cry 3, I'm definitely down. I'm sure this guy's down. We'll probably just do it anyways because it was fun. It was a good time joshing around. The conversation's always good. Support us further. You guys can check out the rest of the channel by, we have plenty of different playthroughs, plenty of playlists that you guys can skim through and see all kinds of good stuff for the rest of the channel. If you guys want to support us individually, you can do so by checking out this guy at CodeMeisterP or CodeMeister_P, depending on where you're looking. He has a TikTok, SoundCloud, he has a MySpace.
Yeah, I got a Tumblr. Yeah. You can also check out this guy, XG_Sen or G_Sen. If you like what he was saying about fighting game content, this guy plays them all the time on his Twitch channel. So go check out his Twitch and his personal channel. And he does analysis breakdown videos on shows, movies, and video games called Crouch Block. Go check that out too.
We'll see you guys on the next one. Adios.